So I had time to enter my first game jam, and in case you don't know, a game jam is a competition for game developers where you have a fixed amount of time to make a game, and that game has to follow a certain theme, at least most of the time. I decided to participate in the 1-bit game jam, a jam with two themes, the first being that your game has to be black and white, and the second theme was one button. Oh, and you only had 48 hours to make the game. Usually, when preparing for a game jam, you start with finding ideas. So I made most of the graphics for a game that I haven't come up with yet. My idea at that point was to make a farming simulator where you collect slime by destroying the slimes you already had. Almost like an idle game. But I couldn't come up with any ideas for a good inventory system. So I made another slime by inverting the colors of the original one. After spending way too much time animating the slimes, I thought it would be better to make a mini game instead of an idle game. The mechanic I chose is that two slimes will try to reach each other, but that would cause both of them to die. I added a super simple movement script and made the slimes draggable. Then I made the game more challenging by making the slimes duplicate after a random amount of time. And reused the button sprite I made earlier to kill all but two slimes. And that was the end of day 1. Because I implemented almost everything that came to my mind on the first day, I didn't really know what to do now. I decided to make some music, and I have to say it gets a little repetitive. Then I made a simple sound effect that plays every time when a new slime is created. To give the game an actual challenge, I implemented a score system that would detect how many slimes were killed and give you points according to that number. With all of that done, it was time to set up my itch.io page for the game, and wait for the rating period to start. On the next few days, everyone was able to rate all the games that were made during the jam. And exactly here you see that there are a lot of people that really know what they're doing. And boy, there were some cool games. After the rating time ended, I checked the page again and... I mean, number 12 isn't bad, but obviously I would have liked to get ranked higher. But for my first game jam, I think that's okay. A few days later, I implemented new features that were suggested in the comments, and I would still like to update the game to some extent. I thought about adding new slimes into the game, like this tall slime, but I don't know if I want to give them special abilities, and if so, what these abilities could be. Maybe you have some ideas for me. If you want to, you can play Slime Farmer on my itch.io page. Hey, if you're still here, thanks for watching. This game jam stuff is something that I feel like I could do more often. I already joined the paint jam, so stay cool and see you next time.